This publication is printed for 1 year. This publication gives the positions of Sun, Moon, major planets, and primary stars used in celestial navigation for every second of clock for the entire year. On the regular page's information is listed for 3 consecutive days. On the left-hand page, successive columns list GHA of Aries and both GHA and declination of Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, followed by the sidereal hour angle, SHA, and declination of the 57 navigational stars. The GHA and declination of the Sun and Moon and the horizontal parallax of the Moon are listed on the right-hand page. When applicable, the quantity V and D are given to assist in interpolation. The quantity V is the difference between the actual change of GHA in 1 hour and a constant value used in the interpolation tables, while D is the change in declination in 1 hour. Both V and D are listed to the nearest 10th decimal point, or 0.1. To the right of the Moon, data is listed: the local mean time, LMT, of sunrise, sunset in the beginning and at the ending of the nautical and civil twilight, for latitudes from 72 degrees north to 60 degrees south. The LMT of moonrise and set at the same latitudes is listed for each of the 3 days for which the information is given and for the following day. Magnitude of each planet at UT 1200 of the middle day is listed at the top of the column. The UT of transit across the celestial meridian of Greenwich is listed as per pass. The value for the first point of Aries in the middle of the 3 days as listed to the nearest 10th at the bottom of the Aries column. The time of transit of the planets for the middle of the day is given to the nearest whole minute, with the SHA at UT 0000 of the middle day given to the nearest 0.1 below the list of stars in the bottom right-hand corner. For the Sun and Moon, the time of transit to the nearest whole minute is given for each day. For the Moon, both the upper and lower transits are given. The information is tabulated below the rising, setting, and twilight information. The equation of time of the Sun for the 0 hour and 12th hour. On the bottom right corner are provided the age and phase of the Moon. The equation of time is listed to the nearest whole second. Age is given to the nearest whole day, and the phase is given by a symbol. Following these pages, there are 30-page increments and corrections used for interpolation of GHA and declination. Following this is the table for interpolating the time of rise and set and twilight. Sextant altitude corrections are given at front and back of the almanac. Tables for the Sun, stars, planets, and the dip table are given in the inside front cover and facing page. Additional correction for the standard temperature and pressure are on the following page. Tables for the Moon and abbreviated dip table are given in the inside back cover and the facing page. The permanent table for increments also includes corrections for V, the difference between the actual change for GHA in 1 hour and constant value used in the interpolation tables, and D, the change in declination in 1 hour. V is always positive unless a negative sign is shown. This occurs only in the case of Venus. For the Sun, the tabulated values of GHA have been adjusted to reduce to a minimum the error caused by treating V as negligible. There is no V tabulated for the Sun. No sign is given for the tabulated values of D, which is positive if declination is increasing and negative if decreasing. The sign of the V or D value is also given for the related correction. To find the GHA and declination of the sun, enter the daily page table with the whole hour of the given GMT and take out the tabulated GHA and declination. Also record the D value given at the bottom of the declination column. Next, enter the increments and corrections table for the number of minutes of GMT. If there are seconds, use the next earlier whole minute on the line corresponding to the seconds of GMT. Extract the value from the Sun and Planets column. Add this value to GHA from the daily page. This is the GHA of the Sun. Next, enter the correction tables for the same minute with the D value and take out the correction. Give this the sign of the D value and apply it to the declination from the daily page. This is the declination. Extraction of the GHA and declination of the Moon is similar to that of the Sun, except that the D correction and the V correction are given for every hour. This is due to the high rate of change of declination value of the Moon. Extraction of the GHA and declination of the planets are exactly the same as that of the Sun. It's not viable to tabulate the GHA and declination of all the navigational stars in one almanac. The SHAs of the stars are constant for a considerable period of time. The GHA of Aries is tabulated for every hour. This data, in conjunction with the SHA of a star, gives the GHA of the star.